I'm HIV positive, right? And this is just a PSA to those that are not HIV positive. Disclosure is my choice. When I disclose and how I disclose and who I disclose to is up to me. I find it so crazy how people are telling me that I need to disclose before I go on a date, that I need to disclose before I kiss somebody. This is the craziest one. Before I even tell them my name. It's not happening. I don't think that it's my responsibility to tell someone that I'm HIV positive if they are treating me as if I'm not. Your health is your responsibility. Adopt the mindset of medical practitioners. Assume that everyone has something until they prove to you that they do not. Why are you kissing a stranger or trying to kiss a stranger that you just met? Why are you trying to have intercourse with someone raw that you just met? You don't know me from a hole in a wall. Why are you trying to put your thing inside of me without any kind of protection? Why do I have to be the one to say, hey, chill out, I'm HIV positive, instead of you asking, taking the time to know me, get to know me, let's go get tested together if you want to take the next step? Why do I have to be the one protecting you from yourself? No, baby, that is not my responsibility. And I just wanted to make that clear. Okay, love you. Bye.
Don't lie to me. You clicked on this video because you're horny. I know that when it comes to the adult film industry, a lot of people are assumed to be professionals and they're assumed to be individuals who, even though they're making money for doing something that a lot of people would argue is disturbing and that shouldn't be broadcast in front of everybody, you would think that there's a little bit of professionalism in this craft to make sure that everybody ends up safe, no one ends up harmed, and nobody has any diseases running around. Because you would think all of these up and coming adult film entertainers would be responsible in trusting their body to somebody else. Well, apparently, there's currently an epidemic of HSV2 going around by the hands of a man known as, of all names you could possibly have for an adult film star, Gucci Third Leg.
I'm just gonna say, yes, he gave it to me. It's devastating to have to come on here and share that whenever I was 19 years old, Gucci Third Leg burned me with HSV2. And he told me that he was gonna send me his test results, and he never did. And it saddens me to hear that he's done this to so many girls. And there's girls with so many similar stories to me, and they're so young as well. He is preying on the young, he is preying on the new. And I'm so sorry for not saying this 7 months ago. I was scared, and I was making so much money. I can't keep beating around the bush because you guys think I'm lying. And he can't ruin anybody else's life. I didn't know what he was known for. I didn't know who he was. I didn't do my research. And it is my fault. I know the people that already have it know exactly what I'm talking about, but whenever you realize and find out that you have something as severe as that, it's heartbreaking. It causes you to go through an immense amount of trauma and depression. I was going through so much at the time, and I've already gone through so much, so at the time it was very hard for me to speak up about anything. I do fully disclose anybody that I have sexual interactions with. I tell them before. Nobody is made unaware. You guys can demonize me, whatever, but I'm sorry. Hearing these girls sob and not know what to do because for a while they didn't know if that's what was going on. It's so sad because the agency does not make you test. Talent testing does not make you test for herpes. That is one of the only things that they don't make you test.
And I'm sitting here listening to this woman cry because obviously you're somebody who has been infected with something, and we could obviously look at, oh, you should have been smarter, you should have done this, you should have had safer precautions put in place. All of these things are valid, but then I listened to that again and my mind heard something that I was confused by. You knew that this man did this to you, and you chose not to say anything. And I'm going to be honest, I have the unfortunate circumstance of seeing you on my Twitter timeline, and I know for at least as long as you had it, you have had intercourse with other people. So my mind immediately thinks, oh, you didn't tell anyone else about this, or if you did, they still ran the risk of coitus with you because, hey, you're attractive enough and they want to hit that rump roast back there, which, is fine. But I'm also a little bit concerned as to how somebody who could have contracted or got burned by another person is still going around having coitus and wording it like they still have it to this exact day.
But of course, I'm not the only one who shared that sentiment.
You got burned by a dude named Gucci Third Leg and you surprised? It's like we don't think. It's like we don't use common sense anymore. See, I can tell when y'all get lost in the sauce because they heard that third leg and then they were like, oh shit, this is valid. But realize everybody else, every other woman thought about that too. And then they tapped in. Sleeping on the millimeter defeater, you know what I mean? Centimeter squasher. I get how you can feel sympathy for this because nobody wants this to happen to them. They're still human at the end of the day. People make mistakes. But to get burned by a dude named Gucci Third Leg, I can't even take this shit seriously. Why is his name Gucci? All that shit, and it was raw, so no Condeezy whatsoever. Now shorty who got burned, she on like a whole little tour just, telling her story every time. And that's cool, it brings out awareness. Shows you what you're not supposed to do. You gotta know yourself at the end of the day. I know I don't like Condeezys. And if I gotta use one, I won't do it, okay? Or I'll just use it. Use it or lose it. Use it or don't. Use it or don't do it at all. It's real simple, don't hurt your head trying to think too much about it.
Miss Danae was born in 2004. So if you think about it, she just graduated high school.
I don't give a fuck what anyone says. She was not that naive that she did not know what the fuck she was doing. Because y'all gotta really think about it. When you get into that type of profession, you just don't automatically jump into it. You think about it for a little bit. And for her to be 20 now and she started at 19, so she at least thought about it at least by the age of 17. And then when she finally started to do it, she knew that they needed to get tested on the regular, but still chose not to care. So she knew the profession that she was in, and she knew they had to get tested on the regular, and still chose to go through her collab with Gucci without the results. You can't say that she's naive because she knew what she was doing, especially when she fucked them more than once. And I know I'm not the only person thinking this, but everyone's just more confused on how she convinced herself looking at his Johnson that, oh yeah, that shit had looked perfectly fine to her. And then when you read all of this and then look at her videos, she essentially didn't want to lose money. So she threw out her health and well-being and her morals for fucking money. And like maybe, just maybe, if Gucci had told her this was an ingrown hair bump I could fuck it with, maybe I could have believed it. But for her to sit there and actually believe that that was a razor cut doesn't make any fucking sense. And what's funny to me is the fact that I've only seen one person point out this one major thing. Even if we exclude everything that's going on, she openly admitted she was okay with fucking and sucking a guy who had a big ass open wound on his shit. Like, females, y'all don't find that shit disgusting? Like, do I feel bad that she has an uncurable disease? Yes. Do I feel bad about how she contracted it? Hell no, because she knew what she was doing and she allowed that man to lie in her face like that when she knew the shit looked funny.
Tis. This nigga Gucci Third Leg just got like at least 3,000 to 10,000 people fucking AIDS, bro. I swear, this should be a wake-up call to any of y'all in the industry, in the corn industry, and all this other stuff. Nigga, this is your life you're playing with, nigga. Repent and find Jesus. Bro, I swear, this is like the fucking LeBron did the Heat move, bro. This is like the fucking 2017 Warriors move, bro. It's shaking up the whole industry here. Nigga, all these people probably out. I don't know half of these people, bro. Gem Jewels, bro. He got Sexy Red, bro. Oh my gosh. He got Daz Nasty. I don't know who the fuck these people are. Some of y'all gooners out there will know. But this shit, shaking up the industry, bro. Bro, you should have known this nigga has something. This nigga's name is Gucci Third Leg. Awesome corn name. But really? You're really gonna trust a nigga named Gucci Third Leg that has 3,000 bodies, bro? Niggas were giving up for the free to this nigga Gucci, bro. 25 on the first list. Oh, more coming out soon. Nigga Sexy Red, bro. They got, I don't know anybody else on this list, bro. They got Miss Kayla, I don't know, 6 foot phenomenon. Nigga, they got everybody, bro. It's a rough world out there. This wake-up call.
And yes, the obvious critiques are there. Do we really need to bore ourselves with them? Do we really need to go through the long list of you should be doing this, and this? I would argue yes. You should be protecting yourself. You should be having safer sex. You should be classifying information and sharing that information with individuals, because if not, especially if you're not in the adult film industry and you're one of these people who likes to say, it is not my responsibility to share anything regarding my I met a girl story with you, even though we're on a date. And there is the chance, not always going to be 100%, there's the chance that it could end from steak dinner to eggs and bacon being smeared on your back. You might want to disclose that little bit of information because it's key, especially when you're making money in that type of field. Because I would argue, from all of the adult film entertainers that I watched in my day, they didn't go around hopping from weenie to weenie to weenie to weenie to weenie. They usually hung around the same type of weenies. They hung around the same type of clitorises because they knew they were safe and that they can trust them. So in the future, I hope, I can't believe I'm about to say this, the next generation of adult film stars does a better job with protecting their bodies and making sure that their bodies are safe. Why are you saying the next generation of adult film stars? Because you can indoctrinate as many people as you want. There's still going to be a percentage of people who go into that field. And you know what? We can shame them and we can do all these things, but they're still going to go in that field. And I'd rather they be safe in that field than they go into the field young and innocent and walk out disease-ridden and bubbly.
How could you prove, or how would you be able to prove when you contracted it? Because from my understanding of that virus is that someone may have it for a unlimited amount of time, but might only know once they have an outbreak. So how did you know that you contracted it at that time, as opposed to maybe you had it all along and the symptoms presented itself at that time that you then went to the urgent care and got tested?
Okay. So with collaborating with Gucci, Gucci was the first person I've ever seen an active lesion on, or a lesion ever in my life, with a sexual partner that I've engaged with. A friend of mine, whenever I was in high school, contracted HSV, and I saw her lesions, but it looked nothing like his. It was brand new. It was not a healed sore or nothing. He was the first person I've ever had sex with that I saw something like that with. Not only that, a few days, my first time that I ever experienced any kind of irritant was 5 days after I first had sex with Gucci. On February 15th, I thought that I split open my vagina because whenever we were having sex, I couldn't finish because it hurt so bad. I literally thought that I split it open. It started bleeding and everything. I was so dry whenever everything happened. It literally was so confusing to me. And by then, I had already asked him what it was on his penis. No, I did not ask him the first time we had sex what it was on him. But it was his job as a person who knows, and I don't care what you say, Gucci, like, respectfully, you know that you lie.
And just because I'm petty, this entire situation will be my push as to why we need mandatory sex education in high school, because you have a lot of children going into their adult life ending up stupid and not having themselves informed, because the amount of people hearing about this story and debating each other about how HSV1 is not herpes when in reality it is herpes lets me know a lot of people that are the next generation are going into their adult life stuck, stupid, slow, and uninformed, and we need to have this be mandatory for a bunch of high schoolers to start learning. But that's just me. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments if you watched this video, if you were horny, because I know you did, you nasty motherfucker. And I will see you in the next one. Mwah. Where's my cocoa butter?